like that form of autism is like the most extreme level of autism. Like pretty much everything about autism is at its like max, pretty much
I
for
see.
you.
Because I mean, I think with the
Because
Darius,
the very interesting thing to me about autism in particular is that it's not necessarily that they're dumb and are not able to know anything. Like, yeah, it is a developmental disability, but once they do learn shit, like I'm talking about like the most extreme. Like if you do actually find a way to teach them shit and they do eventually learn shit, like it's not necessarily that they're incapable or they're not able to. It's just that uh, pretty much the most negative shit is at its max, and then the positive shit is also at its max.
I see. I mean, do you think you can teach Darius how to be cracked at video games, or is that guy just done for?
I mean, you could, but it would take a lot more effort than the regular person.
I see. I mean, because I think with the stuff like that, isn't it like the whole like regressing thing? How does that happen? I don't really understand that. Because I think with
Uh,
the Darius thing, it was really like his mom was talking about he was a completely normal child up until like 9 months, and then he just went baby mode all of a sudden, and then he just
uh,
couldn't do anything anymore.
Regression happens because the thing about autism is that shit doesn't. It's not like instant. You can see signs of it, but it starts to become noticeable like around the ages of like 10 and shit like that.
Mm. Well, what about with Darius's case where it happened while he was like a toddler and a baby?
I can't tell. Well, I mean it is literally a spectrum, so anything can happen, kind of.
Mm. I just have to feel
Usually
it's just like,
around the
what do you
age
think
of
as a
10.
parent when that shit happens? Like, I feel like I would be scared. Like, if I was raising a toddler and he was just like completely normal and was doing great, and then the next day he could not speak English anymore, I would be terrified. Yeah, I would think he like fucking fell over and hit the back of his head on the counter or some shit, and now he just destroyed his brain and gave himself CTE.
Yeah, I mean that's why a lot of uneducated people assume that autism is a disease.
Mm.
Whenever if you didn't ignore like science and basic common sense, you would know that it's not that. But autism is very interesting because with regression, why that shit happens is not necessarily because like pretty much their brain gets rewired entirely.
Suddenly it just happens.
Yeah, like,
I see.
it's hard to explain, but it's really interesting, and it's even more interesting in the fact that like the people that do become nonverbal, they can like eventually unlearn all of that, and then they can learn how to do everything that they knew before. And of course, it'll take a lot longer for them, and they will be behind. But whenever they're no longer behind, they're actually uh, like on average more intelligent than the average person, which is
What
interesting.
about like Darius though? Like I keep using that as an example just because he's like such an odd case where that man is literally like he's like 22 years old and he still can't speak. Like is that
I
just
can't
on
tell
the
you.
parents' part or something? Or what is that?
That could be on the parents, but again, just because you can unlearn that shit doesn't mean that everyone can. Again, it's a spectrum. Also, autism is probably one of the least. It is probably one of the least explored. Well, I mean, a lot of it has to do with the human mind, and the human mind is one of the least explored parts.
It's because like
That
how do you empirically study shit like that? You know?
Yeah, like you can't really. Like it's about as unexplored as the ocean, if not more. Like, yeah, we have explored it, but we've only scratched the surface of how it actually works.
Hmm.
And
I
whenever
hate
you it
sentient. That shit is
and
stupid as fuck. I wish I was a robot
and
who did
whenever
nothing but jerk off all day.
you could be.
I could be. That'd be a nightmare if you were a robot who could do nothing but bust. Oh, wait, just get a mechanical arm, bro. Well, no, just get like fake nerve implants or something. Just have exposed nerves wrapped around your robotic hands. I'm not getting that shit ever, personally. I'm never getting a fucking brain implant. Like if Elon Musk literally came to my house and said, "Hey, I'll give you all of my net worth, and if you do the Neuralink shit," I'll say, "Go fuck yourself." Actually, I'd probably try to take the money and then run away, but you know, yeah, there's no way. I am because I'm a billionaire. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. He's gonna get mad and eat the Neuralink, and then he's gonna go retarded.
But, yeah, human mind is pretty hard. Like we've barely scratched the surface with it. And whenever you add shit like mental illness,
Mental illnesses are funny.
mental, mental, and whenever you add shit like mental illnesses and stuff like that on top of it, it's even harder.
Oh.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
I just want the Knights crystal shard. Whatever. Oh.
What the fuck? Finley, which brand of autism do you think you have?
All of them.
Honestly, yeah, probably. At least it's been realistic.
Yeah, they cancel each other out in certain instances. So that's why he's able to talk.
Oh, I see. Wait, so he's extremely low functioning and extremely high functioning at the same time. So he just ends up being normal in terms of intelligence.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Sometimes one or the other will leak out into his actual life, though. Like sometimes he'll just start like throwing up and going like,
Showing up.
I don't fucking know what low functioning autism people do, dude. I just read that one book that one time about that. You know that you ever read that book where it's like that basketball player who has like the autistic, or like for the autistic brother who's nonverbal and like in a wheelchair and stuff?
Yeah,
Have you read that book?
sure.
Okay. Whatever. There's a book about that, and that's what he would do. Like, he was a basketball player, and he won the state championship in his high school for his brother, who was, like, fucked up and couldn't speak, and would constantly have seizures and throw up on himself.
That is not the case for most people with autism.
Well, I
Also,
don't know
it
what was
also,
going on,
like-
but I think they called it something like autism, like extreme autism or something.
Also, really, like, really fucking real retard mode autism is rare. I
I mean, clearly it's not that rare. We have, like, one person with it in this Discord right now. His name's Garfield. Exactly.
Yeah, but like very like extremely extreme forms of autism are actually quite rare.
How common are the not, like, are the high functioning forms? Probably pretty
It's the
common,
dominant
right?
form.
Meaning, oh wait, meaning like, so is low functioning autism recessive?
Huh?
Is low
It can't.
functioning aut so like you have to have two retard parents to be a retard, pretty much,
No, not exactly.
or they have to be
Uh,
like carriers of the genes.
Yeah, like it can be that, but again, it's a spectrum. That's not how it works. It can be any mix of
I'm
things.
trying to think of this in a biological sense, because you said it's a dominant.
Well, that's not what I meant by dominant. It's the dominant form because it's the most common.
Oh,
Common.
I thought you meant like in terms of like DNA, like genotypes and stuff.
No.
I see.
Also, autism's not. Well, I'm sure that there is some genetic stuff with it, but it's not
Is it? It's not
fully.
hereditary,
Yeah, it's not hereditary.
really. Which that's kind of interesting though. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but it's like my dad, I feel like is low key probably a little autistic. Like, cause he definitely has hyperfixations. Like, he likes guns a lot, and he likes like cooking a lot. Like, those are like his two big ones, are the firearms and cooking. And I don't know. Trying to think if I mean, I think it's kind of like does being really into gaming and I mean, it's just weird though because like I don't know how accurate that shit is considering I was diagnosed as like a child, like before I had even like socialized with anybody in my life, you know? Like I feel like if I did that shit now, would probably get like some, at most like a very minor form of autism if it did say I had that, but then like at most, I feel like they would just say I have ADHD.
All I will say though is that whenever you hear some retards like say like the reality is that there is no such thing as a quote unquote normal person per se because everyone has some sort of like mental is
Everyone's
like
got stuff that makes them tick.
yeah I there are a
Like
lot of
Sydney's is
there
losing 1 minute in a Celeste speed. On Mirror Simple B-side. That's Sydney's thing that makes him autistic. And then
that
Finley's is being called a Sans cosplayer. And and then mine is just Wendy. Wendy just makes me upset.
but yeah there's like I've definitely heard like a lot of retards say some pretty dumb shit about crap like that. It's just like there is no such thing as a normal person. Everyone has some sort of mental ailment, whether it be fucking autism, regular mental illness, it can be any mix of conditions that you have.
I mean, autism isn't even
Technically,
really a mental illness, is it? It's just like an ailment.
yeah, that's why listed them as two different things.
When I think of regular mental illness, I think of like what is it like? That's like BPD, schizophrenia.
Yeah, the
So yeah,
stuff more related to experiences and trauma more than anything. And you can have them without
is schiz
experiencing
I thought
anything like that.
is schizophrenia? I thought schizophrenia was hereditary in some way.
It can be, but that's like it's not a guaranteed thing. The more common way to get it is based on experience and
What
trauma.
what about bipolar?
Bipolar, again, you can like just kind of have it, but most people that have it receive it from like
Mm-hmm.
they get it from their experiences.
Cause I can understand that for bipolar because my uncle is bipolar. My uncle Dwayne is, and I'm pretty sure he had like, unironically, probably one of the worst childhoods of all time. So I think that would make sense. But then it's weird though because like I'm pretty sure schizophrenia has to be at least somewhat hereditary, or like because my cousin has it and she has had a completely normal and good childhood, and she just has it, and she's had it since she was like 6 years old.
I mean, it can be, but it's not strictly hereditary.
What's the difference between bipolar and BPD? I actually
Bipolar
don't.
and BPD.
I don't know the difference between
They
those two. I've heard them used interchangeably a lot.
they're the same thing.
Really? No,
Yeah.
not I don't. I'm not saying BPD as in bipolar disorder. I'm saying BPD as in borderline personality disorder.
Oh, borderline. There is a difference, but borderline personality disorder is kind of like personality disorder has multiple meanings, but in the specific context, I think you were asked like in the specific context of what you're asking, that's like an old term, kind of like Asperger's for autism.
Really?
Yeah, because a lot of used to they would just lump bipolar disorder in with borderline, but there is a difference.
What's the difference? Is borderline just like mood instability or some shit?
Yeah, mood instability, and bipolar is emotional.
I see. Okay, so this
Also,
website says they both have symptoms of impulsiveness and mood swings. However, they have different causes. And it says bipolar disorder is more rooted in the biology of the nervous system and more responsive to medication. And borderline pathology strongly involves a psychological level of the mind. So is this just like a hereditary versus like taught thing or whatever?
yeah, pretty much.
I
Well,
see.
caught is not the word that you would want to be using.
Well, I just mean like, is this like hereditary versus like that you can experience based?
Yes,
I see.
I mean what you said before was right, but the wording is important.
Yeah, that sucks.
But what I was gonna say about it all is like I've seen a lot of people say some pretty dumb shit about it. And really, if you ask me, the reality of it all, it doesn't like yeah, you can name a few of the things like you can name bipolar, you can name autism, you can name borderline, you can name all of that shit, but the reality of all of it is that all of it is technically on a spectrum of its own because the way that it works, like you can't just quantify how it works. You can't is quantify the right word? I'm thinking
Classify?
like uh, I'm thinking of a word like you know how if you quantize the colors on something in an editor, it lessens the amount of colors in the thing.
Does it let? I, don't-
Oh yeah,
I think
I guess I
quantizing and
should use the word
quantifying are two
quantize.
different things.
Yeah, I don't know, but quantizing uh a disorder, like a complex, nuanced disorder, like autism or bipolar or borderline or anything like that, or even just like anything regarding the mind, even if it's hereditary, because like it's still heavily rooted in the mind with how it works. Like you can't just quantize that shit into a few different um a few like yeah you can notice signs and stuff like that that are common, but you can't quantize it into oh yeah there are only like 5 causes
You know
because
what
there are
game
technically
Finley
infinite.
should add to the indie game marathon?
Retard simulator.
I was gonna say Fran Bow. You know that
uh,
one?
yeah, sure,
I think I
that'd be a
watched
good addition.
Jacksepticeye play that many years ago, or some shit like that. That game seemed really fucking weird. That's the one where you like take the pills, right? And you start like seeing like weird shit.
I think so.
And the fucking main character is like really ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Uh, yeah, like I was saying, I think it's very retarded to try and quantize that shit into like a few different things, and then because the reality of it is that it's nuanced and has like a nearly infinite amount of causes and differences. It's different for everyone. Like, yeah, it is interesting to talk about, but like when I say there are some retarded, the specific people that I'm talking about that are retarded whenever they talk about this shit are people on Reddit that act like they are a fucking like they know everything about it and they're a fucking psychiatrist. Like, there's nothing wrong with talking about it because you think it's interesting, because it is just interesting. The human mind is one of the most interesting mysteries there is.
I think the
I
study of the nervous system is really cool. What's that called? Like neurology?
Yep, I believe so.
I think that shit's pretty interesting as well.
Yeah, but like, there's nothing wrong with talking about it, but it's really interesting. But the I like, of course, not all of them are redditors, but the fucking redditors that act like they know everything about it and like take their opinion way too seriously, whenever the reality is that the experts don't even know. So shut the fuck up. You are not a genius. You're a redditor. You know, you were literally no better than those people that fucking take their shitty fighting short and fighting animation opinions seriously. You are
Mhm.
no better than a power scaler, except for some reason you feel the need to power scale the human mind.
Power scaling the human mind. What the fuck does that even mean?
In other
Who's
words,
more
being a
mentally
massive
ill?
fucking retard.
I clicked on this guy's Twitch stream, and the first thing I see is him deep throating a banana. That's awesome.
Mr. Scribbles?
That's not Mr. Scribbles. It's Defran.
Who the fuck is that?
He's probably the best Overwatch player of all time. Like actually, he's playing World of Warcraft right now though.
Damn.
I just click on the stream, and first thing I see is him just destroying a banana.
Why is he destroying a banana?
You know, Aristotle, I figured you'd be a World of Warcraft, or you'd be into WoW. And I know you might take that as an insult, but I just mean like I just feel
What is
like you would think it's
WoW?
fun. World of Warcraft.
And no, I'm not asking what the like shortening means. I'm just asking what it is in general.
It
I've never
is
looked into it,
an
so I don't
open
take.
world MMORPG. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's basically like the whole plot of the whole point of the game is you just level up your characters, or you do whatever you want, you level up, and you fucking like you can do PvP shit. You know, it's a game that it's kind of hard to. It's one of those things where it's like it sounds fucking stupid until you actually play, then you'll kind of understand why it is the way it is. But I would say like around like the start of 2025, late 2024, I was playing it a lot, like a lot with Odie, mostly with him because he's all like a WoW vet, and I thought it was pretty fun.
I don't
Uh,
know. I'm not even like insulted because I just don't even know what it is.
it's just like people, WoW gets like a bad
I
rep
all I know
now
is that it's
because
really old.
it's like from mid 2000s.
Yeah.
But it's like WoW gets kind of a bad rep now because objectively speaking, it is kind of a nerdy game. But I don't really think that's a bad thing necessarily.
You know, knowing what I know about, like, just uh well, I know more about the consoles than like you know what people thought about them, but I do know like like I, I know more about the consoles and stuff like that than like oh what was the general consensus of gaming at this time. I don't know. I find the hardware way more interesting than that. Um,
Yeah.
but but I do know that like a lot of people for a very long time it's like, oh, you like playing video games? You're a fucking nerd. You don't play sports. And it's just like
Man,
that shit's so retarded.
it just depends, I guess. WoW is one of those games where it's like, I think maybe now, some people, if someone asked you what games you play and you said WoW, they probably wouldn't really give a fuck, or they would just like think you're like maybe a little weird, but they probably wouldn't care, you know? Like, cause now that gaming is like mainstream and popular, I don't think anyone really cares what type of games you're playing unless you're playing like hentai games, and then they think you're actually fucking weird.
Which that is understandable.
But like, if you're
I
just
don't
playing
think that'll ever change.
like WoW is definitely on the nerdier spectrum of games, but I think like it's still fine, you know?
Yeah, I was just bringing that up because I feel like if anything that is like a holdover from
Yeah.
like whenever the
Well, it's
game
just like
first came out and shit like
the
that.
the thing with WoW in particular is when it came out, this game was fucking huge. Like it was ridiculous how popular it was. It was retarded. Like everyone who had a fucking like my mom used to play World of Warcraft when it was new.
Mm.
And
It might be because it's old then. Like, oh, you
well, no,
fucking play this
it's
old
because
game? You're a
no, it's
nerd.
because there was a South Park episode called Make Love Not Warcraft where they depicted a group of people playing WoW and they were all fat and disgusting. And
I
that
see.
shit gay people. I mean, and it is true that a lot of people that do play WoW are no life losers who are really unhealthy and unhygienic. But also like, there's definitely plenty of normal people who also play this game. I would say more than not. You know?
Yeah. Like, I was just taking guesses at what it may be, but I guess since the game was super popular at the beginning, and it's not because like, oh, it's old. You're a fucking nerd for playing an old game.
No,
Uh,
it was unironically because of a fucking South Park episode. I'm
I
not even
see.
kidding. It's a good
I
South Park episode. It's just it kind of caused a little misrepresentation of what the game's really about in the whole fucking the cultural zeitgeist, I guess. I think it's a good game though. I had fun when I played it. And WoW, the issue is it's just kind of hard to want to get into it because it's very like time based, like when you're playing it, is because WoW is a game that has like expansions and shit in it, where like they've updated it over time and they've added more content, done new things with it. Like as to where like now there's two versions of World of Warcraft. You can play this like WoW Classic, and there's the current patch, which people call Retail. And they are pretty much two completely different games. They play completely differently. They're not similar in almost anything outside of name and like general setting. So I guess it just depends. I personally my first introduction to it was with Classic because they did a thing where they re-released vanilla World of Warcraft with no expansions, and a lot of people think that in terms of classic, that's the best it can get. And I think so too. Because a big part of what makes vanilla WoW really sick is that it has open world PvP in it. As where like you can be walking around questing, and then you can find just a random dude from like the the enemy faction, and you can just fucking kill him, and you can just get put into PvP like on the spot right there. And it's just part of the game. I think it's kind of cool, you know.
see.
Makes it feel organic. And
That
in later releases of WoW, they actually pretty much just got rid of that completely. So it just doesn't play the same.
I see. I see.
And I mentioned that to say like I don't think you can play vanilla WoW right now. Like I think they already started adding expansions again when they did the like fresh launch thing. So if you were even interested in it at all into playing classic WoW, I would say wait until there's another vanilla launch. which will be in like a few years probably.
I see. But yeah, there's a lot of shit like that where like there are like these that I I don't know. It's just that dumb shit of like, oh yeah, there are a few bad people in like a few well, not even just bad people, like just gross or weird people in that like this specific thing. The entire thing must be horrible then.
Mm.
Like because like the thing is like okay, so like either just don't interact with the community, or you can just enjoy it. Otherwise, like at least give it a fucking try.
It's just WoW is like low key when I was playing it kind of did take over my life because it was kind of crazy. Like I literally remember I would hop in a call with Odie, and one night I think we literally I stayed up until like noon from the day before. I stayed up until noon the next day just fucking because we were boosting one of my characters. We got to like level like maybe 28 or something like that, which isn't even that high. Like the max level you can get in vanilla WoW is level 60. And we did that for literally we boosted for like over 12 hours.
I see.
And that's it. Like it's a huge time sink and needs a lot of dedication. But I think if you're willing to put forth effort and you have self-control and don't let it destroy your life, I think it's great.
I mean, that's just with any fucking game.
Yep.
um, but yeah, I think that it should is super retarded because there's a lot of games that I can think of that it's just like, oh, you're weird for like it's not even necessarily, oh, you're a fucking nerd for playing that. Oh, you're fucking weird for playing that. You're a pedophile for playing that. You're a fucking horrible. You're racist for playing that. It's just like,
Mm.
oh, have you ever played the game that you're talking about? And the answer is 99% no. Like it's gonna be no 99% of the time.
And so also I guess if you did want to try Classic WoW, there are like private servers you can play on to just that for free just to fuck with it and play the game. But the only downside is not really like that many active players on it. So you don't really get the whole WoW experience, of like if you want, like you can fucking join a guild and start raiding and stuff like that. But if you just want to play solo, you could do that definitely. I don't know. I think the biggest turnoff for me was just that it is such a crazy time sink. Like that's why I stopped playing it because all my friends stopped playing it too. But it was just really that it was like I'm spending so much fucking time on this game, you know, and it takes so long to get anywhere. Man, how do we get on this topic? I feel like I'm autistically rambling about World of Warcraft now.
Yeah.
Okay, fuck you, bro.
I,
Not supposed to say that.
I don't know how we got here, but I like
I mean, are you ingesting this knowledge that I'm imparting on you, or are you just
yeah.
listening?
I guess I'm ingesting it because I ingest most of what I listen to. Whenever it's not Finley saying I like money.
I see. That's good. That was pretty cool game though. I think another big thing for me that I thought it was cool is because it's just something new. Like I had when I was playing it, I had never played a game like it before or anything even close. So it was a new experience for me. And I don't think you played an MMORPG either, right? So
I've played Fantasy Star.
okay. Well,
Long time
I mean like a modern one. And
Is World of Warcraft really modern?
I mean in terms of like mechanics and shit.
I mean, they both came out around the same time.
I mean, I'm just saying. I think if you play WoW Classic 2, you'd have a similar experience where you're like, "Well, I just never played a game like this." Like even despite playing Phantasy Star. Welcome back. You know, Sydney, I actually think you would also be a good WoW player. Oh, that's how we got on this conversation. That's right. I started thinking about it. I was just the entire time being honest, been talking to Aristotle about World of Warcraft. Yep. Yep. Yep.
And I don't know. I've never played it because it's never looked particularly interesting to me. Also, I guess that it is well, it's not really modern like what you're talking about, and I didn't enjoy it that much. But I did play. I tried RuneScape at some point.
RuneScape sucks. RuneScape is the
Yeah.
trash compared to WoW.
I played it for I played it for a bit to give it a chance. I did not like RuneScape.
It was also like WoW is definitely a big social game. Like if you have a group of people to play with, WoW becomes instantly 100 times more fun. Like I liked it enough as to where I would still play it by myself a lot of the time, but when it was definitely a lot of fun when I was like doing shit with my homies, you know, just like questing and stuff like that, and fucking around and doing dungeons and stuff.
Yeah,
That's definitely the most fun part.
but I will definitely say out of the games that I played like that, Fantasy Star Online was way fucking. It was way better. Because I've heard the two games be compared a lot. Because well, I
Phantasy Star
mean,
and WoW.
yeah,
Is Phantasy Star a PC game or is that a console game?
it does have a PC version, but it's on. It was a well, there was Fantasy Star was Fantasy Star Online is based off of a Sega Dream, like an in-house developed Sega Genesis game, and then they decided to, well, pretty much dump that entire concept and keep the name, and keep the characters, and then make an online version of that whenever they released the Dreamcast, and then they released it for GameCube, PS2, PC, and everything like that, and it had crossplay across all platforms.
You know what's crazy? I'm just thinking about it now. It's kind of crazy how it might actually be a true statement that, objectively speaking, World of Warcraft is the most popular PC game of all time, like PC exclusive game. Like what even comes close? Like Quake? I mean, I guess even then, Quake's not even PC exclusive anymore, is it? It's on console now.
Yeah.
So WoW might actually be the most popular, like, just PC game of all time.
Yeah.
Which I guess kind of makes sense. Like, it did have retarded player numbers back in the day. Like, back in 2004 and 5, I think it would literally have, like, millions of people online at once.
But uh, I've actually wanted to try playing Fantasy Star again because the only like the one when I did play it, I played it. I I emulated it whenever I played it.
Mm.
But
Wait, should I get the keyboard GameCube controller that they use for Phantasy Star Online?
if yeah, I'm pretty sure like originals are expensive, so I wouldn't get an original. But I do know that they make the.
$200.
Yeah, that's not worth it. I do know. I do know for Dreamcast they make USB to like the port on the console converters. If you like, I don't know why you'd ever buy that because you can get Dreamcast not American Dreamcast keyboards, but if you get the way cooler Japanese version, the Japanese ones are way cooler, and they're also compatible with like just American consoles and even EU consoles. But they're a lot cooler looking because not only are they like I'm pretty sure they're like they get rid of a lot of the like dumb keys that you don't need.
What if I got the keyboard controller and then used it for Melee? Would that be sick or what? It'd just be a controller, but it takes up a shit ton of space for no reason.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can just do that, but I think the only reason why it's there is, well, was there in the original design was one for region locking and two, to guide the cartridge.
But can I also just guide the cartridge myself if I'm not a fucking retard?
Yes. Yeah.
Wait, so I guess I can just unregion lock my console very easily if I really wanted to.
Yeah, literally all you need is like that security bit, which honestly might just have that laying around. I don't know.
Maybe we have
I don't know if your dad has
toolboxes.
any like tools or anything like that.
He does. He has many tools. I don't know if he has tri-wing though. Because how common would that be?
Try wing stuff like that is common on guns. So considering he's interested in guns, he may have one.
This is true. Oh shit, maybe I can ask my dad to help me take apart my N64 or just take the shell off so I can unregion lock it.
Yeah, but
That's literally the only thing I would have to do. Like if I could just take that out, I can play my US SM64 cartridge on my N64 and I can run 70 star.
yeah, but it worked like that's all the region locking is whenever it comes to like Japan and US games. So you can play American games on a Japanese N64 and Japanese games on an American N64. The few games that have some issues are PAL games, but not all PAL games. Some PAL games have specific stuff in the cartridge that makes them actually able to function at the lower refresh rate.
I see.
So they would obviously not function. So be somewhat careful about buying PAL games.
I'm not gonna buy any PAL games. In fact,
But
I don't even know what other N64 games I would want to buy, like on cartridge, because no, fuck no, I don't. But eventually, I'm gonna get that flash card, and I'm just gonna have every N64 game pretty much. Like I'm just gonna have all of them to play on my console. So
But,
it's like, what other games would I want to buy on cartridge at that point? You know?
I don't know.
So like I'm probably never gonna run OOT again. So why the fuck would I want an N64 cartridge for that? Maybe like Donkey Kong 64 because it's yellow. It'd be kind of funny.
I mean, there's probably games that you would like. There may be games that you like play on the flash card that you think it'd be cool to own the cartridge of. Maybe.
Well, I think the only games that would be the case for would be like SNES games for me. Like I want to buy a Super Metroid cartridge and not just play that on flash card. But granted, or like it is true that I do already have way more like SNES games than N64 games.
Yeah,
Like
you forget Smash 64.
The only N64 games I own right now are literally it's the same game but just in a different region. So I don't know. How common do you think it is for a man to own 2 copies of Mario 64, one in English and one in Japanese?
Probably not too uncommon for speedrunners.
Well, yeah, I'm not. I mean, for like the average layman that just owns an N64, though. Like, do you own any Japanese games?
I did. I did own Japanese games for my N64 before the motherfucker sold them.
Really?
Because I had my shit on region locked. And the only reason I had Japanese games is because buying Japanese games is on average cheaper than buying the American version.
This is true.
Because the American
Japanese SM64 cartridge was only like $12.
But like that's not only because like not only did some games sell worse in America, but games that did sell well for whatever reason, they're just scalped in America. I don't get why. Like Mario 64
was the one with the yellow cartridge, right?
Yeah, that's DK64.
Why
I know there were some with red
just for fun?
cartridges. I don't know.
I mean, that is pretty. That is pretty fun to have a yellow cartridge. I like that. I wish they did that more often.
But like SNES had a bunch of like interesting colored cartridges, and
Wasn't
N64 had that for to a lesser.
what was that? A red cartridge on SNES? Was that Doom?
Doom, but also there's a Spider-Man game with it. There were multiple games that had the red cartridge, but the two that come to mind is there's a Spider-Man game with a red cartridge and Doom for SNES.
I see. That's a bad port right there. I think the N64, the only special ones that they had were
I think there was like, of course,
Gold.
DJs. Oh
Gold
yeah,
got used a lot on N64, like with Majora's Mask and OOT. And Pokemon Stadium, I think, was gold too, and it was yellow.
yeah, and I think there was only one red cartridge on N64.
Apparently, the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games came in blue, yellow, or black, depending on which game you got. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, the original Tony Hawk's Pro Skater on N64 is in fact a blue cartridge. It's kind of off-putting, honestly. I wish there was an N64 port of Hollow Knight where you had to use the D-pad.
But whenever it comes to like colored consoles and shit like that, one I've always wanted, but like I've actually looked for like case replacements for this specific type of Dreamcast, and I was unable to find one. But this fucking metallic purple, I've always wanted that. Yeah,
it looks pretty sick. It looks like anodized a little bit. Looks
yeah,
sick.
but
Why did you spell pedophiles? Did you spell pedophiles wrong on purpose in your tag?
that was unintentional.
Pedophiles. Like computer files. Pedophiles and loses skeleton. Why did you change your profile picture off of Adolf Hitler again?
I don't remember why. I should change it back.
Pedophiles and loses skeleton with an Adolf Hitler profile. Is it my picture on your phone, Sydney? Also Adolf Hitler? No, I thought the Adolf picture that was on this account was like the famous one.
Also, I wish that the fucking black of the Dreamcast didn't have the fucking shitty Sega Sports logo, but I've always kind of looked the look of like the full matte black. But I don't like the Sega Sports logo.
Well, what the hell? The Sega Sports logo is sick. What the fuck? Blue rectangle. I always have wanted to get the Mountain Dew original Xbox. You know about the Mountain Dew original Xbox?
I believe so.
I've always wanted it. God, it looks so shit, but I've always wanted it. Look at this fucking thing. Tell me that shit isn't fucking sweet, dude. Just lime green Xbox. Are you doing okay over there, Sydney? Or are you struggling in Crystal Peak?
I'm doing fine.
Did you fall asleep again?
Back. Honestly,
Okay.
all of these fucking Dreamcast fucking metallic variants are pretty good looking. Don't know if I'm as big of a fan
Ooh.
of the green, but pretty damn good looking.
Ooh.
Holy fuck, it's 9 a.m. I have to go to sleep for a few hours. I didn't even realize. Oh my god.
Baggage.
Why did this happen to me?
Finley.
Yeah, fuck you, Finland. I'm gonna try to go to sleep for a few hours. I'll catch you guys later.
Alright.
Bye bye.
Makes sense, makes sense. Of course, it would be a lot of money, but it'd be kind of cool to release like a special edition Dreamcast case for the funny game. Yeah, not the IOU one. Also, I'm not even fully sure if I like even want to make an IOU game yet. I don't know. You say I should, but also I don't know. I don't know. It's just been extremely hard to think about like what would an IOU game even fucking be. Yeah, honestly, I think it would be better if it was like an RPG, but even then, there's like other difficulties. Like, what would the fucking art look like? Also, like, what would even what would you even do for like an interesting battle system? Because I'd want to make like an interesting original battle system, but I don't know what to do for that. I have been go on. Rhythm game. You are making the shape tutorial rhythm game. At half rhythm game. I see. I see. One thing I was thinking, well, you never played off, so you wouldn't know what it's like. But the thing about it, I would not want to like copy off's, but take inspiration from it. The thing about off's battle system, if you ever play off, you can tell that it's held back by the fact that you can tell that off is really held back by the fact that it's on an early version of. It was made with an early version of RPG Maker 2003, and the early like I don't know why RPG Maker 2003 is the most popular one because it's literally virtually impossible to change the fight system. It's virtually impossible to make the games run in a decent resolution. It's virtually impossible to make the games run at a consistent 20 FPS. Shit like that. RPG Maker 2003 is the most popular one, but it kind of fucking sucks. And take into account this was made with an early version of it, 2000 in an early version of RPG Maker 2003, 20 years ago by a Belgian team. Well, not even a team, like one guy, and then like the main guy was the artist, and he was French, so there was a language barrier. Pretty cool. But I see. Don't die to the Crystal Guardian. But I yeah, I'd not want to copy it, but take inspiration from it and like kind of use its ideas because I've never seen another fight system to do what it does. Because the like not only is it kind of impressive that it has its own fighting system, because as I said, it's virtually impossible to make an original fighting system that isn't the default, aka the most generic RPG battle system ever made. Like fucking Windy Boss Fight Scratch is what the default shit was. Just horrible. But like it's kind of impressive, but you can tell that it's just like they wanted to do more with it. But I find the system really interesting because it's not even really technically turn-based, because like it happens in real time, and like each opponent and your team all have meters that build up at different rates, and like it's not technically turn-based, but it still is like an RPG system. And I'm probably not explaining it well. Does that make sense? Like pretty much whenever your meter fully builds up, that's when you get a turn. And enemies, like, they build up at different rates. Yours builds up at different rates, and it's randomized and stuff like that. So you have to strategize and think on the fly pretty much, instead of like you have to think on the fly because you don't have time to make the decisions. Because it's happening in real time. And I think if done better, it could, like, done in a thing that's way less limited and done better, I think that would be a really interesting fighting system. I mean, it's not really like a turn-based system, but does an RPG system have to be turn-based? Yeah. Oh, also, it gets old. But, and also, like, I'm a firm believer that if you actually want a game with a good RPG system, it has to have not a traditional RPG system. I don't know. I think traditional RPG systems kind of suck 9 times out of 10. I love being forced into taking a random amount of damage and then possibly losing because they decided to do a shit ton of damage to me unfairly. Like, also very grind-heavy systems. Not a fan of those. Which that's most traditional RPG systems. You grind a shit ton, and then if you don't grind enough, then you get stuck. And then it's based on your strategization skills, but even then, sometimes your strategization doesn't even matter, because you can take a randomly high amount of damage from an enemy just because their random damage variants decide to just fuck you over. Yeah. So you kind of have to have like some form of defense system, and you have to do something not traditional to actually make a decent like turn-based RPG system. Yeah. Honestly, that's why I like RPGs and shit like that, but I like RPGs and shit like that, but it's unfortunate that like the only RPGs I find myself being able to enjoy are like the once in 5 years experience and shit like that. Because I don't know, I just can't bring myself to enjoy the traditional systems. It's not even that all of them are bad, and it's not even like all of them have to be complex. It's just that I don't think there are many RPGs that actually put much. Weirdly enough, a lot of RPGs don't put much thought into their battles or bosses. They put more thought into, I don't know. Of course, there are exceptions, but I feel like it's just a general thing. But I'm stuck in a place of like I don't know, just want to fucking rip off Undertale. It's just I don't want to make something extremely generic, and it just kind of makes me want to not make anything. Like it kind of just it makes me want to make something, not make something with it. But I definitely think I want to ditch the like screen-based platformer approach, especially if it's not going to be an Atari game. Because at least with Atari, like you can argue that that's not been done on the platform. Well, that's kind of a lie. There are screen-based platformers, but not Celeste styled. Yeah, there is Pitfall, and then there's another one that I forgot the name of, but it's kind of it's pretty much like the platformer version of Solaris, where I'm sure I've told you about Solaris, but like it doesn't even look like well, it looks like an Atari game, but it doesn't play like one. If that makes any sense. Like it's way more in depth than a typical Atari game. Also looks a lot better. Like I can tell what I'm looking at. But I forgot the name of it, but it is not it's not entirely like Celeste. It has completely different mechanics from Celeste. But the way that it does its platforming and screen-based stuff, like there are multiple screens that form a level. Like it works very similar to Celeste, but the difference is that you don't have a dash or anything like that. You have a run, a jump, and a like you use a jetpack. That's how it works. And its entire gimmick is that it has moon gravity because you're on like the moon. Well, some areas do. Stella. Stella is perfect, actually. You can actually. Yeah, a lot of ROMs for games like that are released. I feel like it would be weird if someone, you know, made. Actually, I'm pretty sure that's a rule of it. Yeah, I'm actually pretty sure that's literally a rule on Atari Age that like if you get your shit added as like a game, like they sell and produce, like you have to release the thing for it so everyone can experience it, even if they don't have a console. Nor want to. Yeah. I will say that the way Atari Age handles it is like homebrews and shit. That's how stuff like that should be handled. Like yeah, shit on the Atari all you want, but like the way that they handle homebrews is just good. And also, I feel that I shouldn't even really say that. Like, I don't even know why I said that because you guys don't even really shit on the Atari because the reality is that that's like shitting on like a caveman. I almost said a toddler, but like like you're just being mean to a caveman for not being advanced. That's that's what it's like being mean to the Atari. It's like the Atari's so fucking shit. Like, no shit. Don't die. Also, that one game, Ricky and Vicky, that's an Atari 7800 homebrew that they spearheaded. Also, that game is actually pretty decent. It doesn't play like it. Well, I mean, it makes sense because it's an Atari 7800 homebrew, not an Atari 2600 one. But I will definitely say, like, a lot of the Atari homebrews, like, they make use of like extra, like they make use of extra cartridge space, extra RAM in some cases. Like they add shit. Some even add sound chips and stuff like that, so you can do more with the music. Stuff like that. Like, why I bring that up is that's what makes actually like Atari games that like still kind of hold up now more impressive. Like the fact that they were able to make like an actually decently fun game that plays like a video game, with such a we live in a day and age where there's probably more in your toaster. There's probably more going on in your toaster than there was in the Atari. You're failing the speedrunning trick. Yeah. That's unfortunate. This looks like this looks. That actually looks like kind of shit. The only reason why I was even thinking of making the IOU game a fucking Atari game in the first place is because I don't know. I feel IOU characters like thinking about it, like they kind of feel like you know what I mean by like how the sprites for Alpha look like just this happy thing. I just imagine IOU characters like that. And I really like that idea. Like just this really like hardly defined thing that is just like smiling at you, and you don't even fully know what you're looking at. It's just there. I don't know. I like that idea. There's there's no way. I mean, the shit we were making looked like an Atari game. Well, I guess it had more colors and shit like that, but like it still looked like an Atari game. But not a good Atari game. It looked like fucking one of those One of those Atari games with the barely definable dog shit. Also, I like all of the things that were made for the IOU game that were different resolutions and wouldn't work together. Hey, obviously. Yeah, so did Cadron. Like, Cadron doesn't know shit now. Like, he's good then. Yeah, of course. Like, you know what I'm talking about with, like, just the barely definable kind of confusing sprite work. Actually, another good example of that, specifically character-wise, is Horus. You know who Horus is, right? No, Horus, ZX Spectrum mascot. The worst part to me is that fucking IOU characters could have been successful in the early games markets, because characters like this could thrive. Also, I like it, like. I don't know why I know so much about Horus, but a very interesting thing about Horus is that Horus, for some reason, has a small but very dedicated cult following. Why? By the way, every one of Horus's games is just a ripoff of another game, like Pac-Man. Or some shit like that. Oh, Hungry Horus is just a Pac-Man ripoff. Like mini games. Well, I guess that is kind of what it is at the end of the day. Because well, nowadays, because like back then, like a Pac-Man ripoff would be its own game, but now I feel like Pac-Man's more considered a mini game than an actual game. So yeah, except a lot more fun than Snake, of course. I don't know. I think the ghosts are more entertaining than collecting the fruit.
They are.
But you know, I really wish I could have been like went back like fucking 50 years ago and like made games with IOU characters, and then I could have I could have made it big. It's literally like that thing I said of like, oh, if only I could go back like 100 years ago. I could have released L7 and actually made a successful coin-op game. but alas, I was born in the wrong era. like I could have been alive then, made L7 in my 20s, and then in my 80s made games with IOU characters. Yeah, I could have made a ripoff of Pac-Man with Mr. Scribbles. And hit it big on the ZX Spectrum and Atari 2600. Obviously. I think he's here, by the way, and that's not very nice. I think, yeah. Yeah, Finley. I know you said something earlier. Nah, unfortunately. What the fuck does what the fuck does the shirt with "Be Like Horace" mean? Like, what does that mean? Also, all of the bright, like all of the undersaturated colors mixed with the oversaturated colors, like, how you could have been big. Yeah, I think so. And I I think I kind of lost the top. Like, pretty much what I just like. Should I actually like try this? Like, well, I guess should we? Because like, I don't know if I've made it clear enough. Like, you can add shit to it too. I think it should be like a group project. Yeah, yeah, that is true. I don't know. It's just gonna be hard though because like I don't know. Like, I don't want to make something amazing. I don't want to make the best game ever made, but I don't want to make something horrible either. Like, I don't know. I I like if it was like 3 years ago, I would have said like, let's make a horrible game for the sake of being horrible because super funny. But I don't know. I feel like it's funnier if an IOU game is actually kind of worth playing. Yeah, I wonder how much they'd have to be paid. Hey, actually, Finley can be the playtester. That is true, actually. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, actually, you know the fucking thing I was saying of replace the screen-based platformer with like like just like Metroidvania with like simple movement with RPG mechanics, something like that. Yeah, that could. I think that could work. And I mean, Metroidvanias already have like NPCs in the world themselves. That is very true. That is true. And actually, that would make like what it. I was kind of thinking like one thing that I realized is like I don't know, since like the bosses aren't going to have like any weight on the story, having them progress in a linear matter would really make sense. I don't know. I just felt like that is kind of dumb. It would actually make a lot more sense if, like, depending on the path you took, you encountered different bosses. Like one path you I'm I'm so sorry. You just don't seem to like this area that much. I think you might be right. I mean, you weren't doing anything wrong, I don't feel. Like, you're just trying to get past it. Like, I mean, I feel like you were doing what you were supposed to do there, but just getting punished for it. That 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 would work a lot better. Because like, you know, the fucking ditch like the secret boss shit. Like, you know, oh, one path you encounter the fucking IOU clock, another path you encounter the fucking AI man. But of course, Biggie Man has to be the first boss no matter what. He's the tutorial boss. Also, I don't know why Finley's upset by that. He's literally getting one of the most important slots. Like Biggie Man's getting the most important boss slot. Yeah. Yeah, it teaches you and also hooks you into a game. And I'd say the final boss is like equally as important because like it cements like your like how you enjoy the game pretty much. But I don't think it is nearly as important because I think you can just skip out on having a final boss in general. Well, well, not really. Like not having a true final boss, really. Like you can kind of skip out on having that. Well, I guess you're gonna have a final boss either way, but like the one that's tied to the end of the game isn't necessarily like an actual boss. Yeah, I mean there's a lot of games where the hook was the boss. Actually, I'd say Pizza Tower is a good example of that. Yeah. 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 Also, he's like the first. He's the first place where you actually have to get good, because you're gonna die on him if you don't. If you don't actually know what you're doing.
Makes sense.
Steve Finley is here.
I did hear that. What? No.
Sometimes. You can be sometimes, but not.
I guess.
Not enough for it to really be rough. But I feel like that's just with anyone. Everyone has the ability to be an asshole at times. I think that's just kind of a piece of human nature. Actually,
Yeah, it is.
just don't be an asshole all the time. Also, actually, that would fit. It being that enemy seems annoying. I I I think you're entirely right. That room is just really fucking badly designed. That that enemy is placed in such a dickish spot. That feels like a fucking Lost Levels enemy placement.
This feels like a Doom Platonia placement. Oh yeah.
I think you're thinking of the negative world. But there is a one level with it in Lost Level. But I do know there is a play like a level in the Lost Levels that there's one area that has fucking like 30 Hammer Bros. And you can't like kill the Hammer Bros before they start throwing the hammers, so it's just dick. Like dick game design. I love 30 Hammer Bros making whenever the Mario game is a bullet hell, I think you're designing it wrong. Especially whenever it's your second game in the series. It may turn off a lot of players.
I'm thinking of a hero in them segment.
Why the fuck did Miyamoto like think that, oh yeah, this arcade version of Mario Brothers was really popular, so let's take the difficulty of the arcade game and put it into a home console game. Like also, while yeah, the arcade games are designed like that, I wouldn't even argue that game design like that is okay in arcade games either. Yeah, that's why arcade games should be like endless, or you know, like they should either be endless or be a fighting game, really, where it's based on your own skill. But you know, games where you know, there's like an actual, the arcade games that have an actual end goal are so bizarre to me, because I feel like that defeats, well, it kind of defeats the point of the arcade game. Like the only reason you're gonna replay it is to get a better score. But also the game is so hard, like so fucking hard and dickishly designed that you're not even gonna beat it. Like the people that are gonna be playing those are kids. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of arcade games. Racing arcade games are okay because that's also based on your own skill. But outside of that, not great. I think you're in the over, like, over. That's not the way. I I was gonna say I think you're in the overwhelming minority of people, but I don't think that's the correct way to say that. I don't guess it's technically wrong, but yeah. I just feel like you're the only, like one of the few people that actually think that. If you do think that, good. I didn't think you did because you seem to enjoy games that are not dickishly designed. I still don't know how you went from playing Mario 3 the way you did to Lost Levels. And actually beat Lost Levels. That's one. That's actually, like, either you just brute force those levels until you like beat them, but even then, I still feel like that's like just, yeah. Especially the fact that you beat it. Like I feel like I definitely feel like it probably helped you become better at something, maybe. Something. I don't know. It, the only thing you're gonna learn is like what to like what blocks not to hit. You're gonna you learn how to avoid the beginner's traps. I still think that's some of the worst fucking game design to put in your game. Beginner's traps. It's not even game design. It's anti-game design. Yeah, that's literally what that game is. No, also, at least I Want to Be the Guy was a joke. That game was not intended to be taken seriously, but for some reason people do. Yeah, and also yeah. Honestly, it's weird how GD mimicked like the actual game, like what happened with the actual game, because for a while after the original game, like the game got popular, and people started making games that were designed like it and inspired by it. Not as jokes, not as things not to be taken seriously, like actual experiences, because they thought that was like they enjoyed that for whatever reason. Enjoy whatever you want to enjoy, but I, yeah. Yeah. So it loses its fucking there is, yeah, like it loses it, and even then there's no skill. It's just kind of luck. Like you're not gonna be able to predict where a fucking invisible Mario block is. Well, that's not even towards I Want to Be the Guy, but you know, fucking Mario Maker levels that play like troll levels. I don't even know. The weird thing is like how commonly they appear, and like not even like they're not even a thing that are exclusive to troll levels. Like they didn't even appear in Mario game, like official Mario games, that much, if at all. I can't remember many cases where they appear. The only times I can think of where they appear is where fucking like there's hidden goodies. That's all I can think of. Like, and there's hidden extra lives in some places, but they're never really used as an obstacle. Yeah, I actually kind of like how I use it. That's how. That's the only time I use blocks like that. I use them as fucking secrets and stuff like that, and then like people comment on my levels and be like, "Dev block." That shit's. I don't know. Yeah, like it's not even a thing of fucking. I don't know. Like that's one of the few things that's just kind of irrationally made me angry. I don't know why, but that particular comment on one of my levels on fucking Mario Maker pisses me off. Because I feel like they just assume that I'm so shit at. Like, what pisses me off about it is that that level is really easy and intentionally so. Also, I want to fucking get rid of the levels that I tried to make easy. I don't know. I didn't know how to actually make them good and make them easy. It's kind of hard. It's not even kind of hard. It's just kind of impossible. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. But that's kind of hard to do in Mario Maker. Yes. Like it's a lot easier to do it in like a game with complex movement mechanics, like Celeste or Pizza Tower, where character movement is varied and complex. Doesn't even have to be the most complex, just more varied. Yeah. Which doesn't even appear in the 2D game, so not even that. For these levels, at least. But but the only reason that comment pisses me off is because, okay, you're assuming that I'm so shit at the game that I need the fucking I need the fucking fire flower to beat this level. Like that's why it pisses me off. Yeah, like that's 100% the thing. But just I just wanted uh, that's like my first thought whenever I saw that comment. And then like another thought came to mind that also irritated me. It'd be like, okay, it's a secret. You literally just spoiled where it is, and it appears in level because comments like that appear in level. Like, okay, not cool. Some people like to discover things on their own. Like imagine if you get that in on 100 levels thing. Like, you're just gonna know where that is, and then you're gonna get free extra lives and free flowers and stuff like that. Like, it's gonna that defeats the point of exploration. I agree. It should be obvious whenever it's not a death bit. Yeah, there should be specific visual indicator. But not noticeable enough. Yeah. Like they could have just made it like look like the entrance to the cave and make it like entrance to a different cave with like holy shit. But they could have just made it like look like it was going down into a cave or something like that with the background, and it would have made it visually different from all the others. There's a lot of games that suffer from that issue, actually. Holy shit! I didn't know that the knight from Hollow Knight could do that. What does that mean for power scaling? Yeah. But unbound speed, boundless speed. It's literally, it pretty much just means it cannot be measured. I hate that I know this. God damn it. Sorry, I just had to be angry about that for a second.
I'm
But,
back. Hello.
pretty much whenever something's boundless, it just means it
Hello?
cannot be measured. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Hello, Mr. Finley. Yes.
Discord's not saying my thing is green. Let me leave him rejoin. We talking about power scaling?
Apparently.
Okay. So I did do some more research on it. The fastest like measure we have is what is it called? A Planck instant, I think. That is like quint. I don't know, but from what someone has done, it's like quintillion times faster than light speed. Yeah. If in case you're wondering, that's how fast the Flash went in one of his comics. And that's where the term was created.
Oh my god.
I love power scale. Let's see. So like, yeah. So like and then Sonic, he has the weirdest of the speeds being immeasurable. He's just the easiest example for this. And it's just like he runs so fast it can't even be measured. That's the
That's just
point.
such a nothing term.
Yeah. It's just like well, no, it's just like he goes so fast it goes beyond every speed like limit there is. It's beyond speed. Yeah. But like the only reason he's like faster.
It's literally like that one thing that's really retarded in power scaling. Like literally, all of like the like biggest like all of the most powerful character. Okay, so saying that you have like unlimited power or are infinitely powerful literally fucking means nothing because every character in there is the same thing. It means nothing. None of these terms mean anything. It's retarded.
It is.
It literally becomes the fucking toddler game of fucking like the toddler lunch table game of my attack is infinitely powerful and you cannot dodge it. And then
This is what this is why I say like Doom Guy is like the strongest being. He is said to have infinite speed, defeated a Titan that was said to have immeasurable power and strength. And it's canon that everything he beats he gains the power of. Yes.
you know uh, I don't know why it's thinking like, oh yeah, maybe I shouldn't make the I want to make the IOU game and I want to make Mr. Scribbles, Fat Man, and Bobbles and fucking Ice Cream Man and like all the IOU characters in that game just intentionally to pay as much disrespect as possible to power scaling.
No. Have you guys heard of Mr. Impossible?
Who?
He he's from like this children book and has just gained popularity because of the power scaling community. Because anything that's impossible, he can do.
I see.
He can also do like if you say like it's impossible to walk up a wall, he'll walk up a wall.
If it's impossible to masturbate and eat beans at the same time, he'll do that.
Exactly. Well, he's a rock. He can't really do that. But no, he probably could.
He would grow a penis right then and there. I can't wait to like what I was saying to you, like this should just like what I was planning with like the attack shit. Like I was thinking of a thing like why not just make the like all of the attack names and all like well maybe I don't know, I didn't think it was actually a good idea, but I like the idea of like the attack names being fucking randomized. It's just like one can be like you can get summon black hole, and that's like a basic attack. And then another one is fucking like something else retarded. Just make him to pay disrespect to it. I and the idea is to have the game be balanced. So I just really like the idea. And I don't know. I don't want to pay disrespect to it out of the like mean-spiritedness, more because I think it's funny.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like it would be funny that like well it's not gonna happen, but if let's say Mr. Scribbles ever did get popular, there would be a bunch of people that are 100% like there. I'm sure you've seen some of these characters, Finley, but there's some people that dislike certain characters because they beat the characters that they like, and they will claim that the character is overpowered or a fraud or whatever.
Yeah, that's mostly with Bill Cipher. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. I'd love to imagine people doing that shit with Mr. Scribbles and just gaining a hatred for Mr. Scribbles because Mr. Scribbles is just unreasonably overpowered.
Oh, also, I have learned if you make Sonic lose to anyone in the power scaling community, you're fucked. They will attack you. Like I've never seen a fan base so set on making sure this character doesn't lose.
I guess I'm gonna get attacked because Mr. Scribbles wins. Like it's literally unmeasurable negative diff. That's like the only. That's all. I love the fact that like Mr. Scribbles is like Mr. Scribbles is just fucking unreasonably powerful in every way, but he's really slow. And then Fat Man is really fucking like just immeasurably
fast.
powerful as well, except he has low attack damage.
God, I hate the fact Air Sans is multiversal. Sorry.
But I want to
No.
make I want to make Mr. Scribble so powerful that they have to make a new tier.
That's not possible.
I don't care.
You just claim with some like new bullshit. Like it's like what would be a term after Boundless, and you just say like he's this, and the power scale gonna have to
Immeasurable.
make
Immeasurable plus plus.
he's beyond immeasurable. Oh, let me go. Let me go back. I knew someone who brought up what a plank instant was. Let me find what a plank instant.
Sufferidilidats or something.
I will say the only thing I have liked from the power scaling community recently, the only thing, is that I like the I like how every single one. I like how everyone just agreed that FNAF would beat the shit out of Megan. It's very nice.
I see. That also thinking about it, I like the implication that like because it's related to IOU in some way. It fucking everything in Finley Clicker and everything in the other game I'm working on, and by extension Shave Mario, is just insanely overpowered too. Also, I like the idea of doing this because I feel like it would make people avoid power scaling them.
Okay, okay. I have. Okay, what is this playing cycle? So that Cindy, can I? That's what Lord X said. He is.
I'm
He
pretty sure
has
that's already a
limitless
tier.
power. Yeah.
Yes, limitless is lower than boundless.
Oh yeah.
That
Wait, let me count the amount of zeros here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
incalculable plus plus.
How do I count this? That's like. Well, let's see. How many zeros is on one line? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So that's
But it's
18, and then 19 on the top. No, not 19. 17. It would be 17. So.
but I really I like the idea of doing this because not only do I think it would make people avoid power scaling these characters, but people that do would probably find these characters really irritating. Because they take power scaling too seriously and their character loses against a Mr. Scribbles and a Moon Man.
Okay.
You-
Okay. I have. All right. I have counted this. Okay.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah, that is actually what Sonic.exe fans. So. Oh yeah, he would. So let me see. I did count this. So it would be a plank instant is 0.45 other zeros 539247 seconds 539247 seconds, and that equals one plank instant. That's how fast they can run. They can run. Let me see if he mentions it. Yeah. Yeah. Good lord. For how much math power scalers use, it's upsetting they use it for this shit. Yeah, it uses light to get there, and it's like times quintillion times light. Yes, Sonic is still faster. Oh my god! It just like it gets to a point where it's just like petty arguing. I've noticed.
Like I explained, it's literally just like the toddler argument.
I love when Revolver Animations tries to like. Okay, listen, I don't love Revolver. I hate his topic, but at least he's making good animations. I'll give him that. But one thing I do like is how he kind of refrains from using power scaling. He doesn't really use it. He only uses it for characters that aren't fleshed out and have nothing to work with. And then people in the comments will get upset at him for not doing it. Like the Lord X versus Auditor video. Like, I could tell you the amount. I couldn't tell you the amount of comments that are just like Lord X wins. It wouldn't even be a fight. So like, let him do his own shit, man. I don't care if that's how it would go down. I want to see a fight. If you want to watch a fight, then don't watch the fucking video. It's not that hard.
Yeah,
Tell me. Yeah,
yeah.
Mr.
I
Scribbles
mean
is too
that
slow.
is kind of a stalemate. Also, Mr. Scribbles would like Dorio, so they wouldn't fight. Dorio.
There-
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Also,
The light, Mr. Scribbles is too slow to stop, Tori. What? I said Mister. I said Mister, but okay. Okay. Mm. Woo! Yeah. I hate power scale a lot. Glad we agree. You do not realize how much I hated having to learn this shit just so I could understand shit versus shit. I did it for shit versus shirts. That's it. That was the only reason. Oh, cool. Again, I don't think the idea of fictional characters fighting is bad. I think that's a good thing. But it's just like, why are you taking them so serious? It's a fucking fictional character, man.
Also, I feel like it's more interesting to compare like characters in the same universe because you know you literally cannot. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of retarded to compare characters from other universes or like universes that are just so vastly different from each other. Like,
Yeah.
okay, you're comparing the fucking knight to Doom, the knight from Hollow Knight to fucking Doom guy. One is a fucking bug.
The only matchup I think works for Knight is Drifter, because they both
Mr.
are pretty
Scribbles.
they're both pretty similar. I mean, they both use swords. They both use abilities. The only difference is that Drifter. That is true, but Drifter is terminally sick.
Would he really die from getting like stabbed with a nail though?
What?
Would he die from getting stabbed by a nail?
No, absolutely not.
I feel like he would just step on the knight and it would be over with.
I know, but I just think I just think the only working matchup for the Knight is Drifter, because they're like the most comparable you could do, besides like stuff in the Hollow Knight's own world. But even then, that doesn't make sense. I guess the only real difference, in my opinion, is that like yeah, Hollow Knight uses charms while Drifter uses guns. So
Mr. Scribbles uses a sword,
that is
but he
true.
also uses a gun.
They should make a They should
And
make
a black hole, don't forget.
They should make a Drifter. They should make a fan made Drifter boss battle in Hollow Knight. I gotta see that. That's a good question.
But yes, Cindy and Finley, feel free to come up with like retardedly overpowered like shit for Mr. Scribbles and fucking the other guy. Like, of course, the black hole is like an instant one. What is send me that in DMs if you could.
But also,
Also, take the advice. Nobody's meant for you. Learn to force things. Little bit of advice from me.
oh yeah.
Don't die.
But also, to be fair, like the bug, the Knight has killed God. So
What?
that's true. He's small. I don't know.
I doubt that the
I just
moth is like actual god.
I just like the matchup. Okay. I want to see the two fight. Leave me alone. No shit. That's why Mora had to upscale, because he's like, I don't want him to be that small. He's still smaller than the main cast. He's just not bug size.
I'll try.
Oh God, Sydney, don't tell me you've seen the knight in like Madeline art. Oh no. By the way, that's really
I
only.
don't. I didn't. I didn't remember I did that. Yeah. Why do people ship those characters? Why does Madeline want to fuck Bug?
Okay, whoa. She wouldn't do that, and Moro. Moro was very against this on Twitter. No, because Moro was like, first of all, the knight can't really even feel those emotions.
Hello?
Hi,
Hello?
we hear you. Hi, we hear you. Fucking phone. Yeah, exact phone guy ass. Oh, I guess he couldn't. Yeah, I get. Yeah, what a bitch. Anyways, but yeah, Moro has like, first of all, the knight can't even feel that, and two, it's not that type of relationship. Which GIF is it? Yeah. Oh, is it the All My Fellas one? Okay. I mean, kinda. I mean, yeah, that's fair. Again, the most they are in Indie Cross is like friends to an extent. Because Madeline saved the knight from falling into a giant bottomless pit once. But also, like, it's still the knight. He can't really feel much. Yeah. Happiness. No. That's not. He literally nope. Don't spoil. I don't know if you're gonna watch Indie Cross or not. Okay, then I won't spoil it. But the knight does something. Oh well, I don't think he'd do that.
Hello? What the
Hi.
fuck are you talking about?
Denise, continuing what you were talking about.
What did you say? I didn't get a lot of that. I got Discord. Well, Discord crash. Yeah, but does Madeline really want to fuck the Bug?
No.
Oh yeah, that is true. Right, there is no consent there.
I don't think
But
Madeline wants to fuck.
would the knight want to rape handle
Oh.
it. But also, like, how would that happen? The night is really small. Like, would he just crawl in there?
Ooh. Well, wait, no, Sydney, what's the thorn thing the knight has?
Don't explain it like that. Don't. Yeah, don't.
No, Sydney, what's the thorn thing the knight has where he gets hit and it sounds like a bunch of shit? Yeah, but it would be useful. That's true. Does the knight have
You
anything
raped
else?
somebody and you killed them. You kill them. You kill them by shooting them in the place where you wanted to rape, so you can no longer rape them. Yeah, at that point, it was your goal really to rape.
But yes, I very much like how Moro said he is very against ships for Indycross. The most they get are like friends.
Who knows? Maybe Mr. Scribbles can get an Indie Cross if the IOU game's made fast enough.
I'm just sad that the Terrarian won't. What did Moro say about the Terrarian again? He said something about the Terrarian, how he wouldn't appear.
The Terrarium. He would only include the green Terrarium.
I know adding the Terrarian would be next to impossible to implement. Thank you, Moro. You're right, Cindy.
That's a very interesting.
I am so thankful Moro is in charge of this series. He's like the most respectful the most respectful guy you could put in charge of this shit. You know, it's really bad when people don't know Drifter so much that they can't even pay attention to him in the video and think it's a Moro OC. Why don't people know my boy? All you have to do is turn on the captions and it'll say he's from Hyperlight Drifter. It's not that hard. And even when they do have the captions, they just don't look at it. But then what's the fucking point of having them on? Just he's from Hyperlight. Why would Moro add a OC to Indie Cross of all things? Like the one thing he shouldn't do. I don't know. Okay. Well, I will say I hate how I hate Cuphead and Indie Crazy. Like the one character I don't like, and simply because it's the Cuphead from the Cuphead show. That's fair. Wait, first,
I see. That sounds horrible.
what the fuck? Bro, I hate. Oh, it's Indie Cross version. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Are you sure you want this? Okay.
Testa. Testa.
It's open world like Security Breach, but like it's a Metroidvania. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. That would be really hard to run. That's fair. Um, so, Nate, do you think it's unrealistic for Frisk to appear in Hollowness, kill everyone, including the knight, and then leave? Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, well, sorry. Sorry. Well, that's not even true, but yeah, sure. What if it was Kara that appeared and killed everyone, including the knight, and then the knight came back to life because he's the knight, and then he went through a red portal, and then and then he got teleported to where the main cast is. Is that unrealistic? Oh hell. Yeah, hold up. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. You know, I might. I don't know if I want you to add to this. I think you have horrible ideas. Hopefully, these aren't your actual ideas. That is wonderful. You know, that's very good because you know, I had a feeling they weren't real. Alright. But I had a feeling those weren't your real ideas, but you never know. You never know. Some people just like dog shit. I love this song. Yeah, that's the saddest part. I do not think so. Yeah. I like the fact that Pirate Software is like Yandere Dev, except with instead of if statements, he loves switch statements. They literally, as it sounds, they switch. They are they they are pretty much if statements, except they have an on and an off state, or a 1 and a 0. Pretty much it's just if statement, except as like an on, like a 1 or a 0 state, on or off. Very funny. It, actually, I need to see if I can find that screenshot, but there is a screenshot of Pirate Software, like what during one of his streams where he made a program. Oh, like I'm pretty sure it was if IP address equals uh 1.1.1.1 return 0, like not a hacker, and then that and so on for each number. That is horrible programming. Literally yandere dev. Like, you don't do one for each number, you fucking retard. What the hell are you doing? You work with a game company. You are in the industry, man. Yeah, you like this? True. Is that Zod? I see. I think you're lying. You love toddler. No, but anyways, here's the image of the best code I've ever seen. By the way, this is something in Heartbound. That funny Undertale clone he never finished. I would hate to know how many. Also, I don't understand what it's even for because Heartbound's a single player game. That's just weird that it collects your IP. Maybe. It does have always online DRM. So maybe it doesn't want players cheating in single player game. You know, that could be it. What do you think? Hello? 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 Ah, yes. Uh, uh, I I do know that there is always online DRM in fucking Heartbound, so maybe maybe he just wants to collect data on players for whatever reason. He doesn't want players cheating in his single player Undertale ripoff. Not a hacker. You know, you could literally just have a variable, and that would fix that. Literally, though. I'd hate to know what the rest of the game looks like.
Okay, guys. My mom was like, "Hey, I need you to go help me out with do some garden/yard work." And I was like, "Okay." I'm still waiting. Still haven't gone outside yet.
I see.
So yeah. Also, Aerosol, I hate these.
What do you dislike about them?
The first one is a reference to what is it? The Luigi creepypasta.
Oh, well, that's why I sent it to you. You love that creepypasta.
I don't. And then the other one, you shouldn't kill the original Star Walker. Star Walker, how dare you? He's the original.
He's not even the original.
He's the original to me.
I can't forget. What?
Huh? No.
No. Not while playing a game. That's bad.
Well, anyways, yeah. So I don't know how long I'm gonna be gone for since we still haven't gone outside. So, I'll hopefully be back soon.
No, mia cara. No, mia cara.
Not yet. Nice. He appreciates that. Yeah, I'm sure that he appreciates you being mean to him. They have to. They have to. Yes. Of course. Of course. That's so. That's so. Maybe he is. Maybe. I'll think about it. It's just. Finley always says that he is slapping his belly laughing, and that he is such a gassy guy. Yeah, he does. Yeah, because he's very gassy, and it's like his main kink. Yeah, he's the poop guy. It is also that most of his personality traits are what he's into. He also just really likes crinkling and fucking. He's such. Yeah, he's just so odd. Yeah, exactly. really wonder why Finley keeps crinkling his diaper so much recently. Yeah, like he's done it. Yeah, I don't think many people do. I don't think many people like shit or gas. No. Hey, we were thinking the same thing. Of course not. You're too good for it. Yeah, nice. I thought you were gonna say Finley, but I'm glad. I'm very glad that you didn't just say Finley. That's so bad. Gassy shit ass. Once upon a time, maybe. I don't even know what to talk about anymore. Maybe. uh, I definitely don't think that's what I want to talk about. May just be me though. Is it? Maybe. Even ChatGPT hates it. That's so mean. Oh. Wait, you paid for an answer. Yeah. You might could even say cookie crazy. I wonder what ChatGPT thinks of cookie crazy. Contempt. Anyway, they're the hyphens. It feels like a Redditor would write something about the cat. Oh my god. That is the worst advice I've ever heard. Yeah, if Finley unironically said shit like that, I think he should kill himself. You forgot what? Let me see what it was founded with. I'm really curious. I'm ending this conversation. I feel like you've said worse things to it, and it's not ended the conversation. It just lied to you. Liar. Our work. I'm here whenever you're ready to have a respectful conversation. What was disrespectful? You didn't say anything bad. Oh yeah, yeah. How did Finley do at your house? Play, playing funny game. Yes, he got past the dunk bell. The one that he threw at his computer and fixed it. In the sands. Actually, no. Once you get past that, there's a Sans boss fight. It just opens up an instance of Undertale, and with where it makes you play the Sans fight. Yeah. Ow, what? Sure, sure, just to be different. Of course, of course. The entire game is a slope. Yeah, I think it's the same. I have nothing to. I've ran out of things to say a while ago. Yeah, keep it permanent. Permanent. No, you can't change him to retarded. Cleveland. uh, I'm really curious what Cleveland does. No, I don't think anyone has a Cleveland row except for Finley. He loves Cleveland. Oh yeah, before you go, what is your favorite Skylander? Why? I see. You know, that's the first thing I should do whenever I get a capture card. I should record. I should fucking put no commentary let's plays of all of the Skylanders games on fucking Java Bootleg. What? Yeah, good. Good. I'll see you later.